Womp womp womp. Psh. This is Bartholomew Urquhart Dee. Bartholomew is a robot. And one of those robots who is completely unaware that they are actually a robot. Now, for most of those robots, they are completely unaware because they have been programmed that way. But for Bartholomew, that is not the case. Because Bartholomew is an idiot. This also helped to explain why Bartholomew randomly decided to jump into the sea and kill himself. If Bartholomew had been smart enough to know he was a robot, he would have known that salt water plays havoc with robot innards. Fortunately for Bartholomew, this is a children's story, so nobody can actually die. Just suffer torturous near-death experiences and then be brought back to do it all over again. So, off he went on his merry way once more. Now, as is the wont of idiotic robots like Bartholomew, he had an unwavering desire to climb. As you may have guessed from the shambling and chaotic way Bartholomew is working his way up that cliff face, Bartholomew is not a climbing robot. What he is actually designed for is to be placed in the cockpits of the latest spaceships and smashed into asteroids. He is, in a way, a sort of futuristic crash test dummy, which probably goes a long way towards explaining his frankly laughable IQ. Now, as well as climbing, Bartholomew also has an obsession with large, strangely shaped plants. Just a little aside, that doesn't go for all idiotic robots, like the climbing thing. That's just Bartholomew. Look at him there, beside himself with joy, butting that plant around without a care in the world. Is there really a more touching example of affection towards an inanimate object anywhere in the universe? If he's not careful, though, he might... Well done, Bartholomew. You really are an A-class retard. It's no good staring at it. It's your fault it's down there. So, after molesting an oversized daisy flower, off he went once more. Instantly picking up too much speed, tripping over himself and smacking into a boulder. After picking himself up, tripping over once more, and picking himself up again, he continued on his way, finding a novel use for the oversized daisy flower he'd molested earlier. As he drifted, day turned into night, and a tranquil calm settled over the land. Bartholomew made a landing that was rather more composed than I'd expected, then spotted something lurking in the shadows. It was some kind of seriously f***ed up sheep, and before he realized what he was doing, his little legs started to run. He chased the sheep, with no real idea what he would do if he caught it. But of course, we all had a very good idea. Oh dear, Bartholomew. There have actually been many documented cases of robots attempting to molest livestock, and as a result, no robotics manufacturer is permitted to build a plant within 200 light years of the nearest farming settlement. Bartholomew gave up on his sheep and noticed some butterflies hovering around him. Immediately concluding that they had somehow managed to climb higher than he had, he started trying to be a butterfly, with limited success. So he climbed and spotted something in the rock above him. A shining crystal, more beautiful than any of the strange plants he'd seen so far today. He simply had to have it. Sadly, Bartholomew had never been very good at the monkey bars, and it proved more challenging than he'd expected it to be. But, never one to give up on a pointless escapade, he scrambled, and he mangled, and with a mighty effort, He grabbed the crystal and dropped to the ground with all the grace and poise of an acrobatic water buffalo. Wait, what was that, glowing in the distance? It was big and red and had markings shaped like his hands on it. He was drawn to it. Grabbing hold of an edge, Bartholomew pulled and pulled, and with an almighty tug, he felt a surge of power and fell back. A magic light bulb hovered before him and told him wondrous things. It told him of the giant phallic tree and of the greatest climb of them all. Bartholomew looked up, and he knew he had a destiny. He took one look back, and he started to climb.